Right now on Charlotte Sports Live, the Panthers lose in Landover, and there's not much to say about it, but we have reaction tonight. Welcome into Charlotte Sports Live. I'm Grace Grill alongside Joey Ellis. Tough day for Carolina, but we've got plenty of other things to discuss too.
Yeah, like a round of 8 race in Las Vegas, plus we will look ahead to the start of the Charlotte 49ers basketball season. Hard to believe we're already there. And Charlotte FC's playoff matchup on the road with Orlando, but let's go ahead and peel the Band-Aid off here and start with the black and blue, shall we?
Yeah, new week, same story. How about Dan Quinn in his first season with the Commanders, and Dave Canales also in his first year in Carolina. Commanders, though, 4-2, while Carolina sits at 1-5. Panthers opening drive of the game, and how about this? Carolina needed to establish that run game, and this was a great start. Miles Sanders takes the handoff and breaks free for a 28-yard gain, and that's Panthers' first down.
That's what they wanted to see from a guy like that, too. And then the same drive, Andy Dalton this time is going to go to the air. He's going to drop back. He wants Deontay Johnson, who makes a pretty good catch, even interfered with there through the flag. So good play there. Panthers are rolling, and that was until this one.
Yeah, Dalton 3rd and 9 wants to dump it to Sanders, but instead it goes right into the hands of Dante Fowler Jr. Dalton misses the tackle, and Fowler is off to the races for a 67-yard pick six. Brutal start for Carolina.
Oh, meanwhile, on the other side of this game, though, the rookie in Washington, he is quite the player, and he continued to be a problem. Jaden Daniels, he was cooking Carolina all day long from when he was playing from his own 10. It's a massive rush from the rookie. He's finally tracked down at the Panthers 40. However, he did leave the game in the first quarter with a rib injury. He did not return to the game. X-rays, though, looked good, saying he's reportedly okay for now. That's a good sign for them as well.
Yeah, Washington had no problem scoring touchdowns without him. Carolina, meanwhile, didn't score until the fourth quarter, and it was Chuba Hubbard who got it done for them. But that would be the Panthers' only score of the game. That would also be the end of Dalton's day. Dalton 11 for 16 for just 93 yards and 2 interceptions. So enter Bryce Young.
Yeah, a little mop-up duty, and he'd finish the game for Carolina, but it was long over before really he'd even see the field. The Panthers dropped to 1-6 now in the season with a 40-7 beat down to the Commanders. Carla Gebhardt, Gabe McDonald took this one in live from Landover, and we'll send it out to them for more reaction.
That's right, guys. The Carolina Panthers fall to 1-6 on the season after a pretty big loss to the Washington Commanders. 40-7 is your final, like you already mentioned. And this one, I don't know where to really start, but was this one of, I mean, it has to be one of the worst losses we've seen in a while.
No, absolutely. I mean, you look just over the course of these last 3 years, at least since I've been here and come on board, it's the 2022 season, a very, very rough loss. You just look at the first drive. I mean, getting down, you had some solid plays there, and then just a very, very bad mistake by Andy Dalton, somewhat similar to the drive, to the interception that he threw last week in what could have been the game-tying drive against the Falcons last week. Just, a tough decision there, but definitely a deflating loss. One of those that really just, hurts your spirit a little bit. Even as a player, I mean, this is one of those things where you just feel embarrassed walking off the field today.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there was a lot of hope in that first drive. I felt like they were moving the ball and even kind of, converting in situations that they might not do so in previous games. But then that interception, and that totally deflated, really, I feel like it totally just put off course the whole offensive plan for the rest of the game. I think that's one thing about this team is when they get down early, and that happened really pretty quickly in this game, it's just hard for them to come back and to really establish anything offensively. I mean, less than 200 yards total on offense, 2 interceptions, 2 sacks. And again, I mean, the only bright spot, I guess, if you want to have one on offense, was that Chuba Hubbard was still being Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even Ricky Jatavian Sanders, 6 catches, 61 yards, leading the team. What they really saw in him all along, being that pass-catching tight end that can really extend the field. But you mentioned there, really hard to find a lot of positives because you mentioned when this team gets down, it's tough for them to have that balance on offense. They want to be a run-first team, like Dave Canales has said all along. When you get into those known pass situations, when you look up, it's 10-0, 17-0, 20-0. It's just hard to get anything established, and it just kept being a snowball effect after that.
I think especially in the second half, too, a lot of people were questioning, is Bryce Young going to come back in? We did see him come back in this game, the final drive of this game, and really, again, not a lot to really process from that. I think they wanted to put him in earlier from the game. Coach Canales said that. But what about the future of this team? Is this still Andy Dalton's team? Let's go ahead and send it in to Coach Canales and to the rest of the guys after this one.
Right now, it's hypothetical. We gotta just get prepared. We gotta look at this film, get ready for the Broncos right now, and Andy will be playing next week.
I mean, we really have to put this behind us, but also we have to go and look. We have to look ourselves in the mirror and say, all right, why do these games keep going like this? I think that's the biggest thing. for us, there's so many little details that we're going to go back and look at, and we're going to say we have to have certain things happen. We have to make sure that we have a good understanding of everything that we're doing.
Just come up with all these speeches and stuff, motivate us, whatever the case may be, but it all comes down to, we got to put on the pads at the end of the day and on the cleats and strap up and go to war at the end of the day. And, like I said, it all comes down to who's going to win the line of scrimmage.
So obviously disappointment all the way around, from the coaching staff to the players. They have a lot to get back to work with, and really, kind of like Dalton said, they have to figure out what's not translating, like what is the big issue. And the biggest concern right now is that they don't know that really.
Yeah, right. I mean, when you look over the course of the season, I mean, you have some times where they look like a team that has a true identity, and other times like today in the last couple of weeks where they're just trying to figure out their right from left sometimes, so to speak. So I think it's one of those things where you really have to get back to the drawing board. I know the bye week isn't coming up for a few more weeks. That's usually the time where you want to get back to the fundamentals and just kind of breathe a little bit. But now I think when you look 7 games in, a lot of tough games coming up, especially in the Division II. If you want to have somewhat of a positive season, you got to, just look in the mirror. That's really what it starts with, and make those corrections. Look at it on film tomorrow. There's going to be, quite a film session, I'm sure, after a game like this, and just come back to work. I mean, that's all these guys can do, honestly, at this point.
Yeah, and getting honest with yourself about what those issues are. Certainly the front office is going to have some things to figure out, too. Do they, do a big fire sale? I think a lot of fans on Twitter right now are really saying that that's probably where the direction of this team is going when you sit at 1-6 on the season. We started this, though, talking about, the worst loss and the ones that we've seen here from the Panthers and covered. And this stat actually comes from Joe Person of The Athletic, so we can't take credit for that. But he says, 2 of the worst 9 losses in franchise history have come in the first 7 games of this season, and that's really the point differential there. And so, a lot of work for the offense to put there, but also the defense as well. And we're going to hear from some of the defensive guys on ways that they can improve coming up here in a little bit. Obviously, the offense didn't help, but we'll get to the defense here in just a little bit, guys.